So your gorgeous son is fantastic, and I'm curious about what he's up to. What's going on?
I mean, he's basically supporting himself doing bar. He does 3 days a week and he makes enough money. He's self-supportive, which is great. But he loves his music. He's like a brilliant musician. He writes, he sings, he plays the instruments. And in a way, he's a product of COVID. You know, he had a band before. They were playing a lot. COVID came, they fell apart. People moved away, and he hasn't really gotten it back off the ground. So it's kind of like, it's not an easy time for him because like it's a gift to know what you love, which he does.
Yeah.
He has that, but now how to make a living with it is, you know, he could write music for ads. He could write music for movies. He writes his own songs. He's very talented.
Yeah. I mean,
just not out there, you know.
You know, it's tough.
Also not doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
The Instagram, the TikTok. He's not on those a little bit, but hates it. He said, I want to meet people, look them in the eyes.
I love it. I mean, first of all, he's such a smart guy. I mean, he really always was excelling in everything he did. And
he's definitely.
And between the two parents who are extraordinary, he really has good genes and you know, he'll make his way.
We try.
No, everybody has different timing.
He's smarter than me, that's for sure.
He's smarter than most people. So, I mean, but yeah, I'm happy to hear that he found this.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we have pictures of him when he was like 2 years old with a guitar.
No, I remember seeing him.
And Sophia trying to marry him. Sophia always wanted to have weddings, funny enough.
I know.
We had to play weddings. Yeah. I think it was Robert Isabel's influence, the wedding thing.
Yeah. So we met through Ian, right?
Yes.
And, many years ago. And it was really an extraordinary time. And I have to just tell you a personal story. I feel, from the day I met you that there was something, incredibly special about you.
Wow.
And this isn't because it's a podcast that I've invited you to be a part of, but my mother had a similar energy that you have.
Wow.
And she was very different from everybody. Very different.
Right.
And the most talented person I've ever met. She could do anything.
So that's where you got it from.
She made costumes. She was, loved everybody. She was personable. She drew people to her. I'm describing you actually.
Wow.
And she also...
What was her birth sign?
She was Sag.
Sag. I'm a Virgo. I'm the opposite of Ian. I'm Virgo, Cancer.
Yeah.
Rising.
Right. So, in any case, she also was the first person in any of the world of the 50s or 60s who had friends who were gay or were different. She was different.
The community was interesting to her.
Very different. And didn't if you have a problem, it's your problem. Right. And she was just like her own person.
Wow.
But her energy, which is you really, your energy has been, such a force of good energy, making people happy.
Trying to help.
Bringing just this human, beautiful side to the world of people who are unique and brilliant in what they do.
I hope I need this. This is going to be my new bio.
No, but
I'm very flat.
No, but
Thank
you
you.
are that. You always have been that. And
but it takes one to know one. You know?
Well, I just think what you do and what you have done, so many people appreciate your talent and your ability to kind of bring the world together at a time when we just really need that. And I just want to say it and thank you a million times for your brilliance.
Thank you for seeing it and telling me. I appreciate it in a bad way. The best thing that's happened to me in my life is your coat. That duvet coat. I live in that. I still had one in the 80s whenever we first started making them. And I just got 2 new ones like a year ago. And I bought one for Bailey.
Oh,
I bought one for David for Christmas. And we're all living in your, what's it called? Duvet
sleeping
coat?
bag.
Sleeping bag. The best.
Right.
If you don't have one, buy one. They're amazing. The value is beyond.
So tell me about your book. I've already given it as gifts, and there are people who need to know you and need to really understand how you allow every opportunity and every experience to be a part of your life. Tell everybody about the book.
I mean, one thing, first of all, I am so moved by your mother, by the way. It's like, wow, that's really special. It's not nice to know a forerunner. Mm-hmm. Maybe we related somewhere.
This is 50s and 60s.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. The book was one of the things with the book that was the hardest thing to do was what not to put in the book. It just wasn't enough space to do everything. Right. I never planned on it, but the Abrams people, Rodolphe is his name, saw me at the dinner right in May after the COVID and said, I want to do a book with you. And I said, okay. I didn't even, and then we decided to do the Bartsch land type of a thing where it's involving more than just my life also. I mean, it's in sections. It's like where I was born, how I got to New York, how I got to London to New York. So it's I wanted it to be very user-friendly, easy, fun. In the way it's my life in stills, really, not that much writing. And, I really it came out actually as good as I hoped it would. I'm very happy with it.
That's great.
And, books aren't easy to do. I basically laid the book out myself.
Yeah.
I had some designer from Abrams, but at the end of the day, he was really great, but he was very organized. Like he wanted things to be linear.
Yeah.
I'm organized chaos. I like chaos. I like color. I like energy. And this designer wanted to put things next to each other and have a match and throw it in there on top. But he was great to work with. It worked out really well. So it was a real honor to have the book. And because I had the other book with the FIT exhibition, I wanted to make it more than just me and my looks. Yeah. So it became a little bit called Bartschland, which is my world. And like you said, your mom, I really have created my own world.
Yeah.
And I've really gone to people that I find are neglected or people that are dismissed, which is the LGBTQ community. And I also feel I've been very instrumental in, the gender thing. We're all people at the end of the day. The he, the she, the them. I'm just a person. If you want to be them, he, she, why not? You know? But the idea of the book really was just to have a user-friendly, as I said, you can carry it on the plane. I didn't want to be clunky thing. Yeah. And it was really fun to do. In a way, it was emotional because it was going through all these photos. Yeah. Very difficult what not to put in or what to put in and reliving a lot of things. And it actually was a good thing for me because I'm the type of person, I don't dwell. Oh, look how I don't gloat. I just get on with it. Money is not my motivation. Creativity is. And I go on to the next. And this book was actually very grounding for me because I actually looked at it and I go, wow, I did all this stuff, but it's only half of it. And it's kind of a fabulous acknowledging and self-love, which I'm very good at not having. I mean, I like who I am, but I don't stop and go, well, or I go by David's gym and say, oh, that's my gym. I don't think that way. It's just, okay, this is that, very chill about it all, So the book was really actually kind of healing in a way.
Oh, I think.
And making me realize how much I have done and how much I'm still doing and I'm going strong just like you.
So for you, it really takes, a tremendous amount of will and determination, for anybody. But I think, I think about Madonna and how she just sort of willed Madonna and created her world.
Yeah.
But you actually, did it way before her.
Yeah.
And every day of your life, you are being creative. Every day of your life, you are documenting your creativity, but it's not just clothing. It's not just hair.
Yeah.
It's not just makeup. It's an experience that you are engaging lots of people in.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, I just get doing my clothes and think, okay,
I gotta go look
I'm
at your stuff,
exhausted.
by the way. I only want to go look what you've got. I need to wear your stuff more.
But you really have done all of that every single day. So it can't be one book. And what I believe is that the way we used to look at socialites in the past and their wardrobes and everything, you have created a new kind of a unique kind of history of fashion through Bartschland style.
Right.
From what? When did it begin? Like
I
70s?
think when I was very young, I was a little kid and I wanted to wear things my way.
Did you really?
Yeah, I would wear like hiking boots with a pretty little ball gown dress type of thing, like a little big skirt with a strawberry flower, a strawberry blouse with puffy sleeves and strawberries on it, very delicate. And I want to wear big heavy cable socks over the knee with big boots. So that was kind of, you were those little like lacquer shoes, what do they call, Mary Chains or whatever. Yeah. I was already, as a very young kid,
and
very
this was where?
In Switzerland.
And your parents, what was?
They were pretty cool. They were very, encouraging. My mom had a great saying, which was always stuck with me, which was like, playing the game is what matters. Losing and winning is not what counts. It's that you play, live life, play. And actually, I saw another one yesterday that was actually good too. It was playing. You never lose. You either win or you learn. Right. It's kind of the same thing.
Win or learn. That's great. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I had really creative parents and they were receptive. They let me, they were kind of horrified that I wanted to go to the secondhand store, 8 years old. I didn't want to go to the Bloomingdale's or the Macy's in Switzerland. I wanted to go to the Salvation Army store and wear like secondhand stuff. And I was like, I would wear like little 40s, 30s crepe de chine dresses or even the 20s one, the chiffon 26. I was very and they let me do it. Same with going to church. My father's mother is very Catholic. She went to church every morning. And my mom was Protestant and she had to convert to Catholicism for my father to be able to marry her because his mom was like, she was actually a real, pioneer woman as well. She did a lot of, helping people. And, so my mom converted and we'd go to church every Sunday and sit in church. Like I was thinking about what's for lunch. I was not into it. And one day I was like 12 or 11. I said to them, I don't want to go to church. I don't feel anything. I'm thinking about lunch and they said, okay, you don't have to go.
Oh, really?
They let me off the hook. So in a very early age, they weren't like loosey-goosey pants. They did have rules, but things that they kind of tuned in to, like, I wanted to dress this way. They didn't say, you can't. It's not the norm. This is against what one does in Switzerland. They say, okay. Same with religion. Those kind of things, they were like, I couldn't skip school. They would never, I don't want to go to school. No, you're going to school. No discussion.
So they had structure.
So the things that really mattered, there was structure. But things like the religion, they were very, maybe it's because my mom wasn't really Catholic, and they were very cool about that.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Do you ever think about, I was thinking about you this morning And I was thinking about some questions that I really wanted to ask. And one of them was, do you ever think about, reincarnation, or who you might have been in a past life, or what's the strong pull that you have in this life?
Not really. I don't really, honestly, I think we'll die and we'll become a plant or something, wherever they bury me. Maybe something grows there. So that I don't see myself as an incarnation. I believe it could be, not against it. If that's what makes you feel good, great. But I mean, I definitely relate to things like I relate to American Indian culture. I feel like maybe if I had been somewhere, I'd have been there.
That's what I mean. Like, is there something?
I think there's something there with that, and also a Renaissance.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this vision. I was making paper roses out of paper, hundreds. So I was decorating a whole thing. It was in the Renaissance. I don't know what. It's just that there was a thing, Italy. Yeah. I have an affiliation with Italy and with American Indian.
Yeah, so isn't that
and
funny?
I love animals, cats, dogs.
That's very funny. Renaissance for me, and also American Indian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I read all these books about American Indians.
Yeah.
I have collections of headdresses and
all
kinds of things.
And the tree, how
Renaissance.
They see trees and the hair.
And medicine through the land.
Yeah.
But also,
I just think they're beautiful people.
What about the Renaissance do you think is the most profound for you?
I think just the whole, I mean, not the poor people and the suffering, but it's just the era, the hair, the looks, the way they lived. I don't know. For me, the craftsmanship.
The art is just extraordinary. So my dream god was Michelangelo, and so I studied anatomy because of Michelangelo, and I went to Florence. I was obsessed too. It's so funny that you picked those two.
Yeah, and Leonardo da Vinci, I find him incredible.
Yeah. So maybe that's why we're here. We have a history.
It's funny. I feel very connected to you, and I'm not surprised that you really understand me. I kind of would be surprised if you did, and I feel like I have a connection, even though we don't see each other much. Right. I just, something about you is just, I relate to you.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting you personally through Ian, and we've spent holidays together too.
Yeah.
I mean, by
the
friendship. Yeah. And I've always thought what an incredible mother you were, and this whole other side. Who is Susanne? Well, it's like, there's this really
roast chicken.
but there's this real kind of substantial mom who's doing her thing, and that this big round scope of your total personality is really pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm grateful I have that side too.
Yeah, I mean,
it evens me out.
Yeah, the balance is amazing.
And I have a lot of empathy, too much. So it's kind of like the mothering thing it's nurturing when you have all this empathy. To be mothering, like having babies, probably the best thing. It was the best thing I ever did. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously you are nurturing. So you said,
I always thought I don't want children, by the way. I don't need kids. Who needs children? I'm not pro kids. I'm pro kids, don't get me wrong. I'm not pro having to have children.
Right.
I wasn't going to have a child.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful I did, I mean, one of my main, when I was little, I had these dolls. I was obsessed with dolls. To the point where I would feed them real porridge. I put food down there. I was going around, and one day I stole a real baby, a baby couch. Someone had a baby in the couch, and I just took it for my dolls. I was like 4. And I was obsessed, and I remember thinking, I'm saying I was going to be a baby nurse when I'm grown up. I love
you're
dolls. And then in kindergarten, had this dog called Jacob. I called him Jacob. And he was like a black doll, an ethnic doll, and not necessarily a mix of Indian and African and a little bit of Asian. It's an unusual doll. Now I was obsessed with this doll. Nobody was allowed near it. So when I became like boobs out, butt dancing on the bar, it was like, oh, that was the opposite of that, you know.
Yeah. But it's fascinating that there's so much to describe every human being, and that we're not just one phrase
and to honor all of them, you know. And I feel like I'm grateful. I feel like I have been given the gift to be able to experience the different me, you know.
Plus I think your nurturing qualities, which are very strong. I mean, anybody who's had a conversation with you for a minute knows that you're always thinking about the other person first. You're always concerned for the other person first. You will do something for the other person first. Always. You'll promote other people first. And that is so, extraordinary, because most people are thinking about what they're about, and you're thinking about other people first.
I mean, you have to be careful you include yourself within that package. You know, you can't just go there. You have to also look hard, nourish yourself. But I think that, the really missing is in the insecurity, insecure. People are insecure, they don't know what they are. And I think a lot of that is how when you give so much and care just about yourself, chances are they have it in them to care for everybody else too. They just aren't, they're afraid.
Yeah.
And that actually is one of my motto that got me through life so far, which is I will not let fear run my life. I will end something, even if it goes well. Right. It's going well. It's probably why I'm not a millionaire, but I never really, I have everything I need. I have a great life. And it's like, fear is important. We have it for a reason, but I won't let it run my life. So I end things when they go well, if I'm done with it, okay, moving, wanna grow. And I always wanted to be in charge of my own time. That's probably the Swiss clock. Grew up with the clock. I wanted to do, if I want to work, I'm going to work. And if I don't want to do things, I want to do it. The 9-to-5 thing was never for me. Yeah. And to be honest, I've really managed to do that my entire life. Yeah. There was only 1 year when I moved to London that I did like a hairdresser receptionist for a year. Lawrence was the salon. He was very trendy, like we done something. Yeah. And I was the receptionist, and I really had a good time, but that was the only 9-to-5 I ever did. And I did really well. They really like the ladies, they'd come in, the Baroness so-and-so, hoity-toity, and I'd say, oh, you're here for a blowjob. And they go, my dear young lady, you better ask a good friend what you just said. And then they would give me like a pound, £1 tip. I had great tips for the blowjob. But that's the only 9-to-5 I had. Other than that, I've always created my own work, which is really great. I'm grateful for that.
You've done so many things. I mean, you really have. There isn't almost anything you haven't done or been asked to do. What's the most fun thing that you've ever done that's not sort of your typical Susanne thing?
You mean not to do with work?
Or it's anything.
I don't know. I love going to flea markets. I have fun going and looking at art. There's nothing really that jumps up me that, I love dressing, trying looks, go through the closet, reinventing a look, take something out, make it new. I really enjoy my art, which is turning looks, God, I can't think of anything.
So you're
traveling with the Schwagers was always amazing, which is like, try to think of something. But
you're a designer, a stylist. You could makeup artist for sure. You could do hair. You could do parties. You make people happy.
I can produce events.
Yes.
Love pool,
so your scope of your talent even goes further. But, have you?
I can sew.
Well,
I could do interning for you.
I do that every once in a while.
I used to have a knitwear business, you know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I used to sew tons of stuff in London. Then I had a knitwear business. It was like from Herne Hill to Cricklewood. It's like from South London to North London. I had like these Indian ladies knitting for me. Are you kidding? Yeah.
So sweater knit.
Yes, I was making patterns. I mean, I was the first person to do dolman sleeves. So, and then Kenzo did it.
So what was the name of it?
I didn't, Susanne, my name. I didn't really have, yeah. I sold it at my boyfriend's shop. His name is Paul Reeves. He's still around. Paul Reeves had this store. He had a store called Universal Witness. Yes. Which was that was his store. Course. And before that, he had the store called Alcazura with John Lloyd, who killed himself. Mm-hmm. Oh God, that was horrible. And I remember meeting David Bowie on, Fulham Road before he was known in this floating dress with a big hat from Paul's store. Yeah. And he came in and he saw me knit and he said, I love this knitting. What are you making? So I kind of, people would see me knit in the store. And then one day I said, I should make a business out of this. And Paul, the boyfriend, bought me a knitting machine and I started to knit. Wow. I gave sweaters to the Led Zeppelins and a whole thing. But then I was me being me. I'm a bit of a romantic. Mm-hmm. I'm romantic. The heart runs to show I came to New York for love. So one day I went to Italy and I never came back for a year. The business collapsed. Oh, and I met the boyfriend there. I had a new boyfriend. I had such a good time with the 4-seater Ferrari going up and down. Mm. I ended up in Cuomo where he lived, you know. So anyway, the knitwear business did well, but I wasn't ever in a big store. I just sold it at Universal Witness.
That's a little 9 to 5. That starts going into a little 9 to 5, and you kind of like changed the clock.
Oh, it's too overwhelming. Right. I was doing so well so quickly. I didn't really want a business.
Yeah. No, that is really, that's where you start. It takes you to another.
And I mean, in a way, that's my downside. I think we once had this discussion, the brand, you know, I'm hard to pin down. Little more so now than I used to be, because now things are what I'm doing, people are doing. Yeah. Like you never saw in Vogue magazine, you never saw somebody with a face painted to match the outfit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's not fashion. Meantime, that's fashion and art. Yeah. That you know, you see these things in Vogue that I did in 20 years. Yeah. And, so I'd lost my thread. It's easier now to, I forgot.
Well, I think basically we're talking about the different things you've done in your life and describing all of the different talents you have. Is there anything that is so different from what you've done that you've thought maybe I should try that? You probably,
you know, actually, I mean, the one thing I've never tried is to focus on money. It just doesn't work. I don't have that mind. Just, okay, let me just do something, make this money. It doesn't really interest me. And that's one thing I've never done. Just saying the business is full on. I'm smart and I know how to make money. I can do both, but it's not ever been my drive. Money doesn't turn me on. So that's one thing I've never done and probably never will. But I actually really enjoy doing interiors. I'm good with interiors. I could actually be an interior designer. I enjoy it. I'm good with it. And I have this place in Canada. I'm trying to raise the money because I want to fix that house up. It's like church meets barn. It's a great place on a lake. And I bought that. Rufus Wainwright wanted to buy it from me, but I want to maybe fix that up. I got to find some money to do it. The bank in Canada doesn't, I'm not living there, so there's only have to have a taxpayer there. Yeah. Got to figure it out. But I wouldn't mind doing that, make it like a show.
Yeah, I think that I would love to see what you do with that. I'm sure it'd be amazing.
I'll send you pictures. How it looks amazing.
And why Canada?
I think it's the American Indian thing that I got up there and I kind of really felt that being there. Montreal, it's near Montreal. Quebec, it's like about 45 minutes from Montreal, and a beautiful lake. And there's a lot of American Indian.
North American Indian influence.
I love totem poles. Yeah. It's North American Indian. Yeah.
I totally know what you mean about, the the energy from that. Well, I mean, we went west, a little over a year ago, and I just happened to be in a circle where, American Indians came and were just storytelling and then started dancing.
Nice.
And I was obsessed.
Felt.
And I couldn't
feelings,
stop. I just kept talking and asking questions, and I didn't want to leave them. I was just like, I can't move. I can't leave here. I don't want to leave right now because I don't want them to go away.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what that is.
Right.
Except
Same
it's
here.
such a good feeling.
Yeah. It's a feeling
You
of
feel home, right?
joy and feel centered almost, you know. And I just love the culture. And I think Canada kind of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then I bought this house, which I have the house, because I love it up there. And, so the houses, I've had it for like 20 years maybe.
You're kidding.
10 years. Wait, what is it? 2001.
Wow.
2002.
20 something years. Yeah. Wow.
And I need to now do something with it. It's great.
So I would love to see what you do in the home and how you envision, home and your style. I mean, that's the next book. So that's actually the next book.
Yeah, I actually have a place in Pennsylvania, right on the border from New York, and that's really nice. Also, like, I guess my Swiss roots too.
Yeah,
I like the green and the lake. I don't really want the burning sun on me. Like David loves sand and sun. I love sun and shade.
Yeah.
So we're opposites, but we always find a place when we go somewhere where he can be on the beach in the sand, and I have like the garden feeling behind me with an umbrella.
That's nice.
A tree. But that one I did that myself. I did the kitchen and everything. It's really nice. You would like it.
And do you, and so for like really getting away, what do you do? Do you totally shut down and just
I try to put the phone away. That's the main thing for me, to get the phone. Because my work, you know, if I'm preparing an event, like tonight I have on top, I have to text people and be on the phone.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, there's no more phone calls. I'm a phone queen. I love a phone call. And so I try to put the phone away. I have a Chinese bed at the Chelsea. I have another great place. I have the Chelsea Hotel apartment. I still live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, what a great address to have, you know.
So
I
that's
have a big old apartment there, and I have a beautiful Chinese opium bed. So I feel I go to that bed and I feel like I'm in my own world, there away from everything. It's the whole room is red.
Oh my God.
With texture, very Renaissance walls, but red. Everything is red. And then I'm in that Chinese bed. And that for me is so,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Even though it's more Indian, it's Chinese. I have more affiliation with the Indian, not the Chinese. But that bed, it's like a 4-poster bed with a roof. And it's just in there. So that's a special place for me. And then the place upstate. And of course the Canada place. When you go there, it's just magical. It's a magical place, that place.
It's really important to have places to kind of just, because you need to restore, right? You need to refuel.
More so than ever.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I really do. I think so. So, if you had to think about what everybody now, can look at just from your life experience and my life experience, there were different things that happened in each decade that kind of defined the energy of the decade. And now we're at this, I think, the most incredible time as far as possibilities go, but also the most difficult time as far as what can go wrong. So what would you think about? Because you're a very kind person who has a very even look at everything. You're never harsh or unkind to anyone. So what would you how do you look at this, and what would you say, just from the way you think?
What's going on now?
Or how you would think about today and the future?
I mean, I think this day and age right now, we have to really be kind. You know, those few things that are easy to do. Be kind, be nice, take the time to, you know, talk to someone or say hello or if they need help, you know. But I think it's about being kind, being present. And, you know, in a way, my events that I do, like the On Top party, it's very important that people still get together live, in real life, to feel each other's energy, to look at someone's eyes, smile at each other. I think it's more important than ever because that's real. And the music, to me, music is very, very important. It's like more important than ever, really. To me, the dance floor is like a spiritual experience, you know, and then people are together, they hear a beat and they move to that beat. Everyone has their own way, but everyone unites through the beat. Yeah. It's a beautiful experience. And one very important thing, they put down that phone. Very rarely is people filming, you know, unless they look coke at the DJ, they are not filming. People are in that, being in the moment. The more we can try to be in the moment, the better off we would be. I mean, it's very hard for me too to be in the moment. We have to be able to. I mean, I think being in the moment, being in the moment, being kind, and be strong. We can't give up. You know, fight for people's rights. And I mean, love. There is only one word that really would make it all good. Honestly, it's that simple, love. If we just could let love run everything. And the more and more it's becoming more and more hate driven, you know, it's so horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when you talked about this music is just incredible, and dancing, to me, I agree. Like sharing that experience with other people, sweating with other people, sharing the sound of that beat, and laughing, because you can laugh when you're dancing, right?
Laugh,
it's just like releases everything.
Laugh and laughter.
Yeah. One of the things I talk about is, like, I spend a lot of time in the Middle East with Marty, and when they have the call to prayer 5 times a day, they stop for a minute, nobody says anything, and they just go off, and then they come back and continue.
Amazing.
And they all share this 5 times a day.
Right.
Now, that to me is as bonding as you can get.
Yeah, a lot of unity.
And just like dancing with people is as bonding as you can get. That energy of sharing that.
The beat,
and that
sound,
you're creating that, and it's kind of the way people share meditation together or share prayer together or whatever it is. Having more of these things, I think, would be so helpful.
I know, unfortunately, it seems to be less and less.
I know.
It's all also, you know, what one thing that I think is a huge gift. On top, for example, it's every Tuesday from May to October in the summer. We don't charge on the door, which is unheard of now. You know, everyone $50. Everything is money on the door, which I would love to make the money also, but it's more important to be able to give. It's like giving back. People are supporting me all these years, so I can, at least you don't have to have money to come. You know?
That is so great. I mean, that is so
really
great.
A gift,
and
I can do that.
And it's really appreciated. We did a breathwork kind of, not a prayer, but kind of just sort of a meditation, and we just invited people for free. We don't want to charge anybody. We just want you to feel good.
Yeah.
And I could see there was so much appreciation. Everybody appreciates you all the time because of all the effort and the beauty of everything you do. But the fact that you don't charge for that during that period of time.
Give people a platform to try and be who they wannabe to feel safe, which is what your classes, it's very important, you know. For myself, I feel good. Hey, by the way, I fucking, excuse me, language. I feel good. So I'm actually doing it for myself just as much. It makes me feel good.
I totally know what you mean. It's just like, it makes you feel so good when you see people are happy and that they feel like something they have a
purpose, you know. It's very important to have a purpose and, you know, to be able to do things that make you feel good.
So what would your purpose be if you wrote a line of what your purpose is? What is it?
I mean, to create, to give platform to people, to unite, really to unite. I would say, bring people together instead of push them away. And, you know, and I love what you've done for women also. You know, you've done a lot for women. You've been a pioneer. Women, it's not all about, you know, the hair.
It has to be. It has to be. I think in the more
uniting and giving people hope, giving people you seeing, you are seen. We see you, you know. It's very important.
Through the years, a lot of people passed through my life, through my work, and so many have done incredible things, and I'm so happy to see what they've done. What are some examples of people who come from your womb here of all of this? What have you seen? What do you think is the overall impression of how people have moved forward?
You mean, not sure what you mean.
Whatever they've achieved individually.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I feel like when I get credit from, not that I need the credit, but a lot of people help me thinking, you know, I helped them, so they helped me too.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like Soldi, he's a designer.
Yes.
He's phenomenal. And he's got a massive project happening as we speak. I'm so excited for him. He's already got 3 Emmys. He does all RuPaul's drag looks. And I was just on the drag race and he did my look for me. He's really busy.
Yeah.
He has to turn out like I don't know how many looks. And he stopped and made a look for me. So I was so moved, you know.
That's so nice.
And someone like Soldi, you know, there's a lot of people like that actually I met. He was at college and he's really, you know, I was like a protege for him. We worked together and then he just...
Nice.
Is that what you mean by...
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Is
you
when
know,
you
people
see, and he's so talented. It's like, that is really great. And the inspiration that you
should have him on your podcast.
Yeah, but that's a great idea.
I'll say,
that is a great idea. I've done RuPaul.
Did you have him on?
Yes. God.
Was he in town or you did it soon?
This was, actually a few years ago.
He's so special.
Oh
what
my
a great
God.
friend. What a great friend.
Like, talk about...
He really is helping me with the book. He's like promoting it.
Oh, really?
We had a Zoom call where we talked about it. And he just loves the book. And he says that he's one of the people like Soldi. He says, you know, I learned how to MC and talk to people through your party. You hired me. I mean, he gives me so much credit.
Did you really?
Yeah, I hired him. He was down and out and he thanks me for it. I gave him hope. He said, I saw him and I said, you're a star. And he, at that time, wanted to be a pop star. And he heard pop star. And now he says, oh, she told me I'm a pop star. I said, no, I said, you're a star. You're way more than a pop star, girl. You like completely took the drag off. I took the drag off the goth and made it known and acceptable. And then RuPaul took it and ran with it and made it like a world drag queen for the White House. I mean, it's amazing what he's done with it.
I remember seeing him.
He's special.
In the 80s, early 80s, on one of these talk shows, right? And he was incredibly unique.
He's
incredibly unique. And
those legs.
I was just amazed because this is the early 80s. This is really kind of not the conversation. and he was dressed as a man and in sort of almost traditional and brilliant.
Yeah.
And somebody brilliant.
Yeah.
He was just unbelievable in really opening people's minds.
He's so smart. Like, he has the gift of the gab. He's so good.
But really, and so it is not a surprise to me that you were a force in helping him. I'm sure there's a list a mile long. I know of quite a few, but to hear that they both Zaldi, and I didn't realize that, RuPaul, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
So I invite you to any ideas you have for the space that you think of talk,
I love
your book,
it,
you want to film,
I
whatever.
want to look at your clothes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I'd love to do something. Yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah.
And
I want to do this benefit, to benefit the center. You know, the center there on 13th Street, they have a whole building, and my love ball was always an AIDS benefit, but in this day and age, I feel like AIDS is still a drama, but you know how not to get it, and they have made it. It's not a death sentence anymore. And the center, also, if you have AIDS, all of a sudden you contract, you can go there to help you. But they also do mental health, they do homing, they have lawyers, LGBTQ community. You can go there for anything. Yeah. By the way, if you're hetero, you can go too. You can go for AA meetings, Al-Anon meetings.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have meetings there. And I want to do a benefit for them. So it's still going to help AIDS, but it's no longer just an AIDS benefit.
Next level.
I want to do it next May. Yeah. Maybe we could have a drink thing here.
Yeah.
Get some sponsors in here or something.
So we'll do it. And I
know someone that gives alcohol too. I can get someone to give me drinks.
Well, I don't drink, so whoever you can get drinks from.
We always need a drink with that kind of a thing, but I can get the sponsor.
So, in any case, I am so thrilled to share some time with you. So everybody knows this woman that I just admire and I'm so in awe of, and all that you do with absolutely wanting nothing in return. It's just an incredible selflessness that you have that should be really appreciated and emulated by every young woman who wants to change the world like you have. So thank you.
And right back at you, girl.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's really special.
Thank you.